Hello everyone and welcome to a very different scene behind me because today we are not going to be reviewing any cars but we are going on the drive in so many Mitsubishi Outlanders. So I was invited down by Mitsubishi Canada for the summer media drive where basically we all will be driving these cars on different courses, mounted twisty roads, on off-roading. Yes, because a lot of you guys wanted me to test this car on off-road. So finally that thing is going to happen. And because this car comes with the super all-wheel control, I am very excited to test that out. But first, let me show you the place because this is an amazing place called as the Deerhurst in Huntsville, Ontario, and it's an absolutely beautiful place. And the my room is right next to a lake, and the views from there are stunning. So we arrived yesterday, and I did not drive for a change. In fact, I was just chauffeuring around. So I was picked up from my house and got here. So it's about a 2 hour drive, but amazing. What a scenic drive that was too. It was more about just settling down last night, and we also went for a trek and stuff. So I'm a little sore slightly, but very excited still to start the drive with all these cars, and every car is an Outlander in the back. And anyways, details you would pretty much know because I've done a detailed review of that. If you want to check that video out, you can click on the pop-up banner out here. You can watch that detailed review also. But if you're going to stay around, then today is all about driving because we are going to go about 150 kilometers total distance with off-roading, mounted roads. So testing every aspect of this car, especially the different modes that this car comes with. So let me start showing you exactly what these cars are all, because they are exactly the same spec, but some of them have slightly different wheels and some of them have the rack as you see in the back. But let me show you that too. So these are all, as I said, the same Outlander. It comes with two electric motors, one in the front and one in the back, and there is an engine in the front and a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack. So it's a plug-in hybrid, and the way it works is, I've always said, I've just been fascinated, especially how the tech works on this car, because it's so efficient on its own and it does its stuff quite cleverly. So yeah, there are a couple of cars I wanted to show with the rack and stuff, with the canoe on top, on this with the spare wheel here, and check out the rims. And there's another steel wheels that I wanted to show you all, and it is that one. If you look at that, the wheels on that, these are pretty much all the cars, and we are all set to leave. So let's jump inside the car and start testing them. So we have started our way on to our first stop, which is about 37 kilometers, and the roads are basically twisty roads, mountain roads from here, single lane on either side. So there are about 10 to 12 cars in the fleet. All of them are Outlander, and the basic idea of this drive is, as I said, to test out pretty much every single aspect of the car, and especially the super all-wheel control, because that's one of the most cleverest thing you would find on any car, because there are two electric motors that actually make this car into an all-wheel drive. So there's no drive shaft that connects, but instead a motor in the back that's usually powering up. And sorry, I just keep getting distracted because the views are just amazing every single corner once you turn, and the view just keeps getting better and better from every corner. And it's been a very foggy start.
Car, so there's a hat on the left side of the road. Not sure if you were able to pick it up.
So yeah, we also have radios inside our car, which is why we are communicating constantly with everyone in the fleet, so that we are on the same path and no one gets lost. So early morning there was a lot of fog, but when it's clear, it's a very stunning view because there are mountains, there's a lake. So the last night when I checked into the hotel, did get a chance to capture some of the views from my balcony itself, and yeah, I'm gonna make sure you get to see that. But the weather has started to clear up now. In fact, it's all clear right now, as it was showing that it's going to be clear around 9. So we started a drive at 9 a.m. and it's going to be 150 kilometers. But the first phase on this one, we are into normal mode and we are into the save energy mode. So the car is basically just going to be saving that electric charge, because there are 4 EV modes or just the drive modes normally. So there's a normal mode, EV mode, save, and the charge. So with charge, you can just use the engine power as a generator to charge the batteries. So all of those details I'm going to be mentioning also while we are on the drive. But the first thing which is very obvious and I kept mentioning is the all-wheel control. And on a twisty roads like these, it comes in very handy. It just enhances the driving experience. It gives you so much of confidence, and also at the same time the car remains quite balanced. There's not much roll, I'll be honest. In fact, this is a big SUV, and the best part is that these seats actually go down quite low, so it makes you feel quite cocooned inside the car, and especially the seats themselves are super comfortable on this Outlander. But the next course is most likely a stop for a coffee, and then after that we have an off-roading section. So onwards and upwards. Now, as you can see, the change of scenery and slow speeds, I've reached a bit of off-road section, and what we've done is we put the cars in pure EV mode and the gravel mode. So currently the car is being powered entirely on the battery power, the 2 electric motors which are powering the front and the back. There are pretty big, yeah, stones to maneuver around for this car, and I'm trying to take them, the bigger ones, so that at least I can get a feel of how the suspensions work, because so far on the roads the suspensions have been very compliant, but yes, it's really on the off-road where you want to see that. And the comfort so far has been really very good in this, because the body roll has always been under control, so it's not too bad on this one. And sorry if I'm concentrating a little bit, because there are some pretty deeper, yeah, pits that I'm maneuvering, and the best part is that there is no engine, so it's so quiet while I'm doing this stretch. Otherwise, usually when you go off-roading, it's more of the crumbling sounds, because you're constantly powering and then you want power from the car, although you shouldn't be going very quick, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm just letting the car power itself up slowly, but in case it starts slowing down, then I'll just power it a little bit from my side. But yes, it's kind of maintaining the balance quite well. Even the front car that I see, because sometimes when you're on the inside, it's you don't realize how much the car is working, but when you are following the same car is when you realize how much the suspensions work and how the car tries to control the body lean. And it's just so much fun to see that suspension in work. And yeah, we are actually doing about, so we are doing actually 5 kilometers, less than that, also on this stretch, and it's going to be a long off-road section, because it's about 20 or 60 kilometers, I don't know how much exactly, but it is a long one, so it's going to take about an hour, hour and a half of this off-road section. But I'm pretty excited because I really want to see, and this is what it is all about. When you have an all-wheel drive system, you want to test it out. And even the steering, I wanted to mention that because yes, the steering on road performs well, but it's in the off-road situations like these, it does well, especially with the rims, because this has quite bigger rims and I was always afraid to maybe scratch them. But again, when I look at it from the outside, I see that yeah, it's not too bad as long as you stick to the course and not venture into those bigger sort of stones lying around on the sides. As you can see from the front view of my car, so there are people helping us around. So there are professionals here guiding us through the different sections of the off-road patch, so that we don't sorry yeah, so as you can see, I'm just a bit too focused on, and someone's guiding me also how to go about, and that's what I'm trying to follow. This good lady out here, she's been a fan.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. So yeah, it's gonna be
Lead car's just gonna hold for a minute here. We'll just let everybody collect.
yeah, it's a fun route, I suppose. I've always been into sand before in my previous stint, but this one, yeah, this is a unique experience. The thing is, in these sort of conditions, you have to have a lot of patience. You need to slow down and not really rush into getting to the next patch of road, or maybe the stone directly. If you start attacking that, then most likely you're just gonna hit your bumper or the underside of it, and then or scratch your rims for sure, or maybe yeah, just get out of control and completely out of shape and then end up somewhere on the side somewhere. But yeah, just have a patience. And then this part is still quite easy, to be honest. It's not that deep. It's just about gravel. It's just about gravel, bigger stones. That's just kind of quite easy for this car currently. Now the thing is, because this car isn't functioning conventionally how normal four-wheel drives or an all-wheel drive would function, because there will be a shaft, so that would usually power the rear wheels. But on this one, there is a motor, so that removes a bit of complication, because there's no shaft or a differential at the back, so it's much more cleaner setup on the back side. And the differential itself reduces slight bit of height for off-roading, because the departure angle, at some angles you may tend to hit your differential, but not on this one, because it's an electric motor, so it can be high up and then just can power the wheels in the back. And all this I am starting to notice, because I can see the car in front of me doing the off-roading and taking on these puddles, and that's when I realized that it can actually have a very higher departure angle, even though this is like a regular 7-seater SUV, a family SUV, that most of the times you'll be using it for so many purposes. But then yes, you can use this car because this is so spacious to maybe put so much of your stuff in. If you're into skiing, then probably put a ski on top. If you're into kayaking, put that too. Plus there's space for the passengers also. So yeah, lots of combinations possible. If still functions with this gravel mode and the pure EV mode as a very normal kind of car, you wouldn't even notice that you're driving an EV. The only giveaway is the sound. That's it. That there is no no noise as such from the engine. It's actually very quiet. I can hear nature and some motor whining. That's the only sound, and splashing from the puddles. But yeah, fun EV adventures, and have some quietness also. So we've reached the next part of this off-road section where we are testing the hill descent control. So I'll put this into the hill descent control. There's a straightforward button given in the middle of the knob, and I'm just gonna let the car figure out. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold the steering. Look at this, my legs, yeah, are all up. It's figuring it out very well. I was actually tense, but yeah, we are doing about 4 to 5 kilometers per hour, and I'm letting the car just take control while we are descending. Yeah, and so far it's figuring out the surfaces very well and distributing the power and trying to control the ride. And not just that, even if there are smaller descents, it even kicks on that one too without you noticing that thing. So yes, completely, look, both my legs are up. Oh yeah, I'm tired. So yeah, we have nearly made it downhill, and I'm just gonna take over the control. But yes, again, that's one feature that you should definitely try out if you ever go off-roading on this Outlander. Right, so we've reached nearly the end of the off-road session, and it got very intense towards the end, and this is one stretch of it which I wanted to show you all, because there are like so many crests and yeah, deep. Yeah, you need to maneuver a lot here, and this is actually testing the descent control also, but you can't really leave this car in the descent control because you have to obviously maneuver and slow down, and very big stones that are lying on the road itself, but there are guidance provided. They've been super helpful. So it's been almost 22 kilometers of off-roading on these sort of roads, and guess what, the cars have done exactly that, only on battery. Yeah, and I still have gotten about 30 kilometers of charge left, which isn't too bad, I would say. Now, but I'm going to focus a little bit because there is a bit of a fall from this part of the road, so I'm just taking it very, very, very easy. Yeah, that's a bit yeah, I will admit I was a bit nervous because these cars are riding on like 20-inch rims, and yeah, but surprisingly these 20-inch rims are doing well for comfort, because I thought they can be a bit harsh for the ride quality, but so far for these off-roading sections they are doing quite well. There is also an 18-inch option, but on this, yes, still not bad for 20 inches. And yeah, I've nearly reached the end of this off-road section, and the best part about this car is the simplicity with which it operates. As a user, you just sit in, you put this car, using this knob is everything, put it into different drive modes, hill descent control, and also the various 4 EV modes. And there's also the innovative pedal. We're going to be testing that because there is another patch which is like a hill section where we're going to be properly opening this car up and putting it through its paces there, because that's going to test properly this innovative pedal, because that's where the braking action would come in, the steering ability, and also the acceleration, and then how well the car changes directions. All of that will be tested there. But so far, in terms of doing the off-road, it's gonna do that. It's an all-rounder car for sure. I know you're not gonna be doing this much of intense off-roading with these sort of cars. Maybe some of you will, and some of you may even take it to a beach. But the whole idea is to show you that yes, these cars can do all of this. They are capable, even though they are the electric, the plug-in hybrids, but they are still mighty capable. So we've reached the next section of our drive. The first bit was the more gentle, twisty mountain roads. Then the next one was the off-road, and now it's like proper twisting roads. And for this, we are trying out the tarmac mode with the innovative pedal on. So I've been driving anyways the innovative pedal even while off-roading. That's how I got so much of battery power to be able to use it on pure EV mode. But on this, it's exactly why this needs to be, tested on these sort of roads. And the particular reason is the all-wheel control. Now, the tarmac mode makes sure that you get full power, nearly all of it, immediately the moment you press. So you see that, like, it's just becomes very lively in these sort of situations. And then the all-wheel control is actually aiding me so well with the turning, because the way the car turns, it's actually sometimes very easy to forget that you're driving a big SUV, because this thing controls the body lean so well, and also the power delivery is just fantastic. So if you've not seen my review before, then let me just glance over some of the facts on this one. So it's got a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, and there are a couple of motors, one in the front, one in the back. The engine produces 131 horsepower and 144 pound-foot of torque, whereas the motors combined, they produce 248 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, where there is no gearbox essentially on this, but just one speed gearbox. It's just one speed gear basically to just transfer all the power. So the way the entire thing functions, as I've said before, it's just very clever. Even if you leave this car into normal mode, it would still figure out everything, so you won't have to fiddle around a lot. And the interface itself on the car, it's just very easy. Oh, and there's one more feature, which is the massage seat. Passenger and driver, both sides, they get the massage seat, and that's really helpful. That's been plenty of a help during longer drives, off-roading. I had that lumbar adjustment, so it was keeping me quite relaxed in that drive. But on this thing, the steering, the suspensions, the brakes, and the brakes I've actually not touched. I kid you not, I haven't touched it, because once you ace the innovative pedal driving on these sort of roads, you wouldn't be even needing the brake pedal, because you can just slow down, anticipate the turn, slow down, and then let the car brake and regenerate also at the same time. In fact, I've added more kilometers in the battery pack already, about 5 kilometers. So these sort of sections is where again you can gain plenty of battery juice. And that's the thing about this car, right? You can just drive it even without worrying, if I have to charge the car, I haven't charged the car, what will happen, because the car will do all the most complicated work for you, while you just drive and enjoy this scenery around. And there's also Bose music system for entertainment. These seats are super comfortable, and the steering, while we are on these twisty bits, it's pretty good, I would say. And the suspensions, yes, the damping is absolutely spot on this, because this car can be quite heavy, and also the CG is quite low on this thing. And oh, look at this, like I'm like just going down now and going uphill again. So the CG actually sits quite low down in this car, which is why it makes you feel that you're in a very secure place that ways. But yes, so far I'm just enjoying this nice and bendy roads on this thing, and very precise steering also for an SUV. Compared to an SUV, I will say, I mean, not the sharpest tool that way, but yes, for an SUV like this sort of type, yes, very good steering setup on this. I'm so glad I was able to test this car and get it for you guys in sort of different terrains and get the real world feedback if you ever consider buying this car, because hey, this is one of the best, not one of the best, but this is the best selling PHEV in Canada. It was launched in 2018, and in a matter of like just what, couple of generations, this is the second generation, and it's already become the most popular PHEV. So yes, there's a lot of positives to look onto. And I will admit that there is a bit of I will admit that there is a bit of wind whooshing sometimes from around these windows, and also tire noise can creep in slightly. And plus, if you hard accelerate and if the engine power is being used, like it was still not the engine, but now the engine kicked in, and if the engine power is used, then it can get slightly noisy. That's the only thing. It's just we are being informed about the obstacles or the objects on the road, or if there are people on road or cars on road. So, which is why we have to be just careful, because these twisty roads do have some blind spots. So, oh, speaking of blind spots, there's also a blind spot on this one too. Come in quite handy. But yes, the overall super satisfied with how this thing functions, especially on these type of roads. Of course, you're going to be using it on highways, on longer runs. We're not going to be using very technical aspects of the car that much, but yes, you get them here on these sort of roads. Yes, you get to really test them, and the car really shines out after that. Anyways, it's been such a long morning, so we are heading off to a lunch place, and I'm gonna round off my video at that point of time. For now, I'm just gonna enjoy these roads and see you later. So we've had our lunch, and with that ends the event with this car today. So a very busy morning till the afternoon, and I just wanted to show you guys the car itself, because I haven't really pondered upon what car I was driving exactly. So I'll just gonna show you quickly around the car. Now the front end is quite unique, but anyways, if you still want to watch the detailed review video, you can click there, or I'll put it in the description and the comments, and you can watch the detailed review. I've covered every single aspect of this car, but this is a GT premium car, so this is the top spec. And as you can see, there has been a lot of fun today. The mud guards, everything, yeah, it's just filled with a lot of mud. In fact, we've just cleaned the car from the side to make it a little more presentable to you guys. So it's got 20-inch rims, and then the EV badging, and then a pretty long wheelbase, and the battery pack sits at the bottom, the 20 kilowatt hour. And in the back again, a very neat looking design in the back too. And then on this side we have the charger for this car. So on the other side there's fuel, and then on this side there is charger. And also this car comes with its own charging plug, and let me show you on the inside. So yeah, the interior is the usual. Again, I'm just showing you what exact car I am driving since morning, because I haven't really shown you guys that. The seats, and some very nice leather soft ones. Sorry about all the um, stuff there on the seat, but yes, this was the guide. Let me show you that too. So yeah, this was a long detailed plan for the day. So it started from 7:30 a.m. We went through so many different roads. This was the off-road section, then this was the twisty bits, Then we are here for the lunch, and then we are going to head back again to our resort, and then look at the level of detail with the modes and everything mentioned on this. And there you have it in the back. These seats are also slidable and also reclining, so lots of option. And then, oh yeah, that's my name with the vehicle number. There are seats in the back too, currently folded. But yeah, overall, a very good looking car in my opinion. And with that technology that sits underneath, that is just such a good combination. Well, that concludes the video with this car and some really good insights into how this car functions, because I've always been impressed, as I said, how this thing worked. It was so clever underneath, but then to be able to see this car do a lot of stuff on the EV mode itself, like the off-roading, and then when we went on to the twisty bits where it just came alive with all the power, and then it started to make so much more sense. And just appreciate the fact that yes, there is just, it's complicated, but it's still so simple. And as I said, you don't have to worry about how you're going to charge this car, what you're going to, which point you're going to reach and then charge this car, because the car can charge itself also. And you can even not charge the car and just use the engine power. Plus there's a 10-year battery pack warranty on this thing. So again, that's a solid warranty offer from Mitsubishi. That just shows the commitment that they are quite firm that yes, this thing is very reliable, even though it's complicated, but it's very reliable. But yes, super impressed with what this car can do. It's just the capability of the car uh, that just fascinates me more than anything, because it's such a usable, livable daily car. And you can go off-roading, you can even put so much of stuff on the inside, passengers, everything, and then still drive it as a daily car. And for that, this thing is just fabulous. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up and thank you for watching this video, and let me know in the comment section if you want me to do more sort of these videos going off-roading, testing the cars in different scenarios and stuff. Let me know in the comments. If you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here. If you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care, and drive safe.